Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, hello. There's Lee Kreider here with the starting the 11th year of the OhioRAAM Show without my partner, Jim Lawyer. It's been one thing, it's been another. I was without internet most of Friday. It's back, although I getting a symbol up here that I have some instability. Hopefully he'll stick with us. Jim is without electrical power. He lives about 12 miles from me, and I looked at the map this morning. He texted me. He said he was without power. We've had some storms move through, so he's not with us for this momentous day of starting our 11th season. Who would know that we would have 11 years of doing this when we started out? I certainly didn't, but here we are. And to paraphrase a famous person here in the United States, I'll keep doing this as long as my cold, dead hands hang on to this mic. So here we go again. And we enjoy doing it. Well, we want to say that we come to you because of the time stations here in Ohio, 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, and 43 in Chillicothe. If Jim were here this morning, I would question him a little bit because, there's actually 4 time stations in Ohio. And could it possibly be that we will have a 4th one staffed in the future? I think that's in the works, so we'll have to stand by for that. Jim's the one that's got that information, not me. So we've got a great guest here with us today. We have Valerio Zamboni standing by over in Vietnam, but just want to make a few short announcements here. We've had a great summer. We've been doing a lot of short reports of various events with writers, and these short reports are kind of becoming something we have learned to do. I think we're getting better at it all the time, and we're going to be doing more of this. This may be our new thing, because shortly we're going to have John Hoopengarner here. He's an Ohioan and a good friend of the show. We're going to be following him as he does Natchez 444. Valerie Nazerski up there in Michigan, she is going to try her first race over 12 hours at the Psycho 48. And we're going to be following her. That's going to be interesting. And our guest today is in Vietnam. Well, that kind of fits in because we're going to be doing one really serious report with Lam Do, whose family left Vietnam many years ago during the difficult times. And he's going to make a return trip to his native land at a bicycle tour. And we'll be doing some video reports on that. And we're really looking forward to that. And then we want to tell you about next week. Next week, we're going to have Priti Maska. Now, I'm sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. I haven't had a chance to talk to her live. So we'll get that straightened out by next week's show. What a remarkable woman she is. I mean, we first learned about her when she cycled across the Himalayan mountains at those high altitudes. That wasn't enough. She went back and ran the same route on foot. And she has done a lot of stuff. We are happy to have her with us next week. The time, watch for us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us if you're all watching on YouTube. And on YouTube, be sure to ring that bell to get some notifications. With that, let's get on with today's guest, Valerio Zamboni in Vietnam. How are you doing, Valerio?
I'm doing very well, Lee. I'm glad to see you. Last time we missed to see each other at 41. And now I'm glad to see you. You are back on the scene. Thanks for having me for this very interesting broadcast that you do for the last 11 years.
Okay. Well, I see that I'm having a little intermittency here on my connection, and I hope it's not on my end. But at this time of the morning here in Sunday morning here in Ohio, and that means it's an awful hour out in California. Yeah, I'm going in and out here a little bit, folks. This is a very unusual situation. I hope this isn't affecting what's happening on your end. So bear with us. So it's a terrible time, but it's evening time in Vietnam. You're there on business. You're not cycling now, are you?
No, Lee, I'm not here for cycling. Just came here for 3 or 4 days. Then I will be right back to Monaco next Tuesday and Wednesday. Actually, I have to go back also because next Friday, 5 days from now, I do have a race in Italy, the Adriatic Marathon, which is gonna go all along the east coast of Italy over the ocean, and it's 1,200 kilometers. It's a very interesting race. Never did before, and I'm very excited, and I will.
Okay, and if there's anybody out there, I don't know if there is or not this morning. If you got a comment or question you have for Valerio, please post it, and we will find it and put it up here. Yeah. So, Valerio, you've been on the show off and on a variety of times for short reports and cameo appearances, that sort of thing. But I realize we've never really sat down and talked with you a lot. I have a question I'm going to ask you a little later so you can think about this while we talked before. But I'm going to ask you if something about yourself that your cycling friends might be surprised to learn about. So think about that, and we'll get on to that in a little bit. How did you get into cycling? How long you been doing it? How did you get into ultra cycling, Valerio?
I was just looking incidentally last night when I was coming here by plane, and actually, what was the date? I think and I feel, if I remember, I start on 14 years ago, something like that, like maybe 13, 14 years ago. It happened incidentally. I was in Miami, and I had a friend that he wanted me to try to bike with him, and I did it. And so for a few months, it was not something that I thought about it. And then suddenly, when I came back to Europe, I started to bike again, and from that time on, I never stopped. And then all the saga of RAAM started 11 years ago, and and now it's going on and on.
Okay, you're really breaking up on my end, but I'm pretty sure it's my end and it is getting through. So if I act like I didn't hear what you said, it's because we got broken up there a little bit. You've done a lot of races around the world, here, there. We see you everywhere. What are some of the most memorable races you remember?
To be honest, for all of them, I have a great reminds about all of them, because they all had something very particular that it was unique for that particular race. I've been in races on the Midwest at a certain point, and a race when you see these people that they try to do everything is possible to do to put together a race, and it was back to maybe 10 years ago or something like that. Of course, if you ask me what races I did more, and then we go to RAAM and the race around Ireland and the race across Italy. These are the three races that I did more, probably 10, 11 times, all of them, okay, something like that. So for these three particular races, I have a special feeling.
Okay. Well, you're signed up for the Race Across America once again, 2023. You did have some problems the last couple of times. You think you've learned how to deal with them?
You know, to be honest, no, I did not, because it's very simple. You know, you start to have a problem like maybe 5 or 6 years or 7 years. In 10 years, I had any kind of problem. When, and then a certain point, when you think it's fixed, that you finally went through all the problems, no, it is not true. Everything go back to square one. And you start with the problem that you had 10 years ago, but a little bit different. And then each every race, he has his own story. Of course, I didn't imagine that I had to stop this year for settled soreness like a rookie, but I did it. And this year they came out in a different fashion than used to be. And actually, it was not the usual one. It was a mushroom that it started to appear on my skin. It was not recognized as that from the doctor. And the fact that we put antibiotic cream on what it was a mushroom, it was a disaster because mushroom, they don't like antibiotics. Actually, they love it because they grew up with. And at the end of the story, I couldn't do anything. Of course, $2 powder that you can buy is a counter drugs that you can buy at Walgreens. It would have solved out the situation at the very beginning
Yeah.
if we knew
Yeah.
that was the problem, but we didn't.
I found out a little bit about that when I had a little bit of a problem, and the dermatologist told me I was using exactly the wrong thing. That that my infection loved what I was doing. So yeah,
And actually, when we had to DNF, which I think is my first time I DNF voluntarily, or the second one in all my biking story voluntarily. Sometimes they DNF me because I was late, but it was not me voluntarily, DNF. My injuries in some parts of my body. Guess what parts of the body? You could put half of a finger inside how they were deep the injury. It was a real disaster. Okay, I couldn't do anything more, not even one more mile. Okay, it was a situation that we couldn't control anymore. Okay, Lee. I believe I'm not sure if you heard what I said, but I did. I did finish. I finished my. I answered to your question.
Valerio,
Hmm.
when just before the registration opened for 2023, there was a little betting going on as to who would be the first person to enroll, not counting the people that rolled over, automatically.
Hmm.
And everybody bet on you. You didn't quite make it. Guinness over there in Australia, I guess he's a few hours ahead of you. he he got in ahead of you, but you always seem to be in there right off the bat, and you've become a fixture almost in the Race Across America. Boy, I don't want to ask this question, but how do you keep on going?
I think the secret is do not ask how and why. Just do it like a
Okay.
robot, automatically. Registration open, you sign for the race. Registration closed, you say bye-bye to the race. And this is going on. I think it's almost forbidden to think too much, because if you think too much, I won't do it. So it has to be something that comes out automatically from my mind without any brainstorm. Okay, just do it, Valerio, and that's it.
Okay. I'm sure I broke up on my end. I think it's being recorded okay, Valerio, through our um, provider, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll come out okay.
You know, Lee,
So, what's we know you've got scheduled for RAM. What else is in your future plans, cycling wise?
okay, the next race, it will be the Adriatic Marathon, as I said at the beginning, 1,200 kilometers along the east coast of Italy, from the center of Italy down to the south, back and forth, and very nice race, never did before. Then I register for can't remember what the race night in something in Carolina, something like that. I can't remember. It's a new race that I never did before either, and it's a 12 hours, and I will do this 12 hours. I'm doing because I will be in Orlando for a business like a week before. So instead of going back to Miami at that point, I'll prefer to go, to that place in Carolina and do the race. And then the next one, it will be Borrigo. But Borrigo, it has a special meaning why I'm doing Borrigo. First, because of course I like Borrigo, I like the atmosphere, and it's a very nice race. But also, after Borrigo, when we finish Borrigo, we're gonna add on another couple of days and on the RAAM route, and until I believe we want to go to Flagstaff along the route, because we need to check and we need to do some tests on some new material that we want to use on the next RAAM. Okay, so and if the weather, it will be still what they're having now, so very hot weather, it will be very good for me, because again I need to test some new stuff on it, and we'll take advantage about the things I'm already there.
Larry, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being a supporter of the OhioRAAM show and what we're trying to do here. You've been very helpful and kind of keeping on, and we really appreciate what you have meant to us here.
Lee, there's a few reasons why I like so much this show. First of all, because you are a very biking enthusiast person, and you try to do as much as you can in order to put together this show, even if sometimes maybe you would prefer don't do it because your health situation sometimes it was not so good. And the second one is because you have been very kind of me, and basically every time except this year, sorry, every time you try to come over to the 41 to see me, to meet me, and even when again it was probably not, you were advised of not to do it from your doctor, but you came anyway. And for me, even this year, when I hit the time station, the 41, I didn't even see. I was looking to you, and the first word there was, "Where's Lee? Where's Lee?" Because and this is the thing. So that's the reason why I'm so big fan of your broadcast, of your transmission. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. And we should kind of mention, I was going to mention that we want to send our condolences out to our British friends on the loss of Queen Elizabeth. We have friends of the show who are great fans of the royalty. We have some that are not fans of the royalty, but I think regardless, most people recognize her service. It is also the anniversary of September 11th, which we remember 21 years ago. And since you mentioned it, that marks a time for me, because that was also the time that I learned I had the diagnosis of pulmonary sarcoidosis, which I didn't understand at the time. And I guess it's not really a well understood disease, but we have been able to live with it, Valerio, and we keep on. And your encouragement has helped us. So let me get back. What is something that we don't know about you that we might be surprised to learn, Valerio?
Actually, I don't think there is anything that you should know because I'm a very transparent people, maybe even too much sometimes. Okay, so I just I'm just one of these guys that actually approach biking and sport, generally speaking, only in the last part of my age. Like I started like I was 55 years old, and before that time, I was not really. I was just doing some gym from time to time, but not anything like that. Okay, so suddenly I changed my mind, and here I am. So I'm just like I love biking and I love my job. I'm in a private airplanes. I'm in aviation. I'm selling in private airplanes. I'm proud to do it, and this is my life. Okay, I have a very nice wife that she loved me so much, and she's the most important point of my life. Okay, for business, social, love, and sport and biking. Without her, we couldn't even put together one RAM. Okay, she's the core business of any RAM. Okay, to put all these guys together, having 10 people together coming from different parts of the world is a very time intensive stuff to do it. Okay, so and she's very patient. Okay, to handle all these things here. I would not be like that. So the day she will decide to not support me anymore, hopefully is not going to happen, but the day she will, if she does, RAM is over for me because I wouldn't even put 1/10 of what she does in order to put all these things together.
Well, that's quite a tribute. What I heard of it. I'm going to have to listen to this show once it's over, Valerio, so I know what all you said. And I discover it's on my end here that I'm having problems. So apparently we're getting out okay. We want to thank you for being with us. And I'm going to end this misery on my end here pretty shortly. Valerio, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your support. And we really so happy that you took time out. Sometime we would love to meet your lovely wife. I think I've seen a photo of her here or there, but that would be great.
All right, I will tell her. Usually, when she does RAM, she stay with us the first 3 or 4 days.
Okay, very
Then
well.
she goes back, but she will.
Okay. Well, I believe we were okay. It's mostly on my end. We've had troubles. If it's been a problem on your end, we're sorry. That's what's happened with the internet. But thank you again, Valerio, for being with us. We want to thank everybody for watching. Don't go away, Valerio. Just hang in there for a minute, and we'll chat for just a couple of seconds after
Very
we get
good.
off the air. So with that, we're going to ask Greg to come in here and say goodbye to all of you.
This is
Right,
Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.